Hi guys, Xavier here, bringing you a updated deck profile for the new ban list that was just announced today. The October 1st ban list, which is a day less than a week from today. Uh, huge news, uh, mainly for Raigeki being legal, which is pretty crazy. Uh, Normally, I would do my Six Samurai deck profile first, but I don't have all the cards for it yet. AKA, I'm going to have to get a third reinforcement to the army because I thought I had a third one, but I don't have a third one. So tomorrow my paycheck goes through and I'm going to get it. Uh, but for now, I have this deck, which is pretty much complete with the cards I had. Uh, I got a couple stories I can tell you, but we'll get to that when the time comes. Alright, do the deck first. We got 3 Ghostrick Giganishi. Um, Basically, for defense, for this deck, he doesn't do much besides defend and get out. Let's do it this way. Ghostrick Spectre. Um, that's his main use, so you can get that +1 and still have a monster on the field. But it's still good because then your opponent can't get to your life points very easily at all. Works, you know. Then I have 2 Ghostrick Mary. Thought about a third, but 2 seems to work really well, honestly. Uh, so yeah, that's the only ghost tricks I use. For my spirits, triple Nikitama. You know, one half of the Xyz combo. The other half is Aratama, who is also your spirit searcher. Summon him out, get a Nikitama pretty much to your hand. I do have one other spirit in the build for now, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Triple Kage to Kage. It works for this deck. It's the only deck I've ever used it where it works. I just find it really freaking annoying. You cannot normal summon him when you might need to. But it's still really good for combos, so if you don't have an Aratama or a Nikitama in your hand, you have one or the other, I should say, and you have Kage to Kage, then there you go. You know? A couple of boss monsters we got. I'm going to start with Dark Dust Spirit. Dark Dust Spirit it's a really good card. It's got me out of a lot of situations. But with that being said, I don't like how it needs to be tribute summoned. Then it goes right back to your hand. I've strongly considered taking him out for Chaos Sorcerer, because my next boss monsters I will show you is Lackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. You know, it's almost like a second one in the deck, but not really. Envoy is so much better, but I won't run 2 Chaos Sorcerer. I don't need to have that many because there's only 3 light monsters in the whole deck. Well, I guess 4 monsters, including Lackluster Soldier. But I strongly consider taking him out, but for now, just for now, I'm going to keep him in. He works, you know. He's still good, but I feel like Chaos Sorcerer might be better. But like I said, just for now, just till I get used to the format maybe just a little bit more, I'll keep Darkness Spirit in here until I feel like putting Chaos Sorcerer in and trying him out. And the last boss monster I got here is Dark Arm Dragon, because it's a really good card, and there's a lot of darks, and you don't have a lot in the graveyard at one time unless the duel's running on long. I guess that's true for any deck, right? Well, Light Sworn may be an exception. We're going to go do spells now. I run 2 Creeping Darkness. Creeping Darkness is a great card. It's more searching, and it's a really good combo for your Dark Arm Dragon. I've actually run into a lot of times where I have this card in my hand, and I have exactly 5, or I'll have a 4 in the graveyard, and I banish 2, or I'll have 3, and I'll just need to get one more dark in the graveyard. It's not too hard. And then boom, you get your Dark Iron Dragon out. So it's a searcher, and it's good for Dark Iron Dragon. Up till recently, I had 3 until this new ban list. I made it to 2, because I noticed last format, I didn't use Mystical Space Typhoon a whole hell of a lot. I mean, I did, but I didn't. And this deck focuses on, stopping stuff. And I don't know, Mystical Space Typhoon, it just seemed right to make it a 2. That means both of my decks currently run 2 MST instead of 3. And that's crazy, because I never saw myself not having a deck with 3, and 3 is legal. So that's new for me. 2, Pot of Duality. I do not have Pot of Duplicities at all. I don't like Pot of Duplicity anyway. I prefer Pot of Duality over Pot of Duplicity. Although I see why people run Pot of Duplicity. And then, a brand new card right there, right? Geki. Another surprising thing, I thought I was going to have Dark Hole in this deck as well. And the more and more I tried to figure out a way to put Dark Hole into the deck, I just couldn't bring myself to have Dark Hole in the deck. And that goes for the side deck too. I couldn't figure out what card I'd put into the side deck, or take out of my side deck for Dark Hole, so that way I'd pretty much have 2 destructions. And I was surprised, because that goes true for... No, I guess no, it doesn't go true for my other deck build either. For my 6 Samurai, it's not true. I still think I have Dark Hole in the extra, or the side deck. But, that's surprising for me. But man, why would you run Dark Hole over Raigeki? Well, if you can't afford it. I went online just to see, I need a second Raigeki for my other deck. And I'm like, holy crap, the first number that pops up is $45, but that's for, like, the original LLB one. I go down and down and down, the cheapest I can even find, this is actually the Black Rare version, was, I think it was like about $13 for this card, and this was like a $1 card yesterday. Well, maybe not, I didn't check it yesterday, but you know what I mean. I just got this as a throw-in, I think last year, for a trade, because I'm like, hey, I like Raigeki, I like having it, I just wanted it, for shits and giggles. Never did I think it would be it would be unbanned. This was like one of the cards I thought was like untouchable on the ban list. I better be taking out my freaking Change of Hearts next, right? Although I think Brain Control would be brought back over that. But whatever, I guess. Next card, we're going to do Lure of Darkness. It's another draw card. I only run 1 though, because I really don't like its drawback. I really don't like if I have the off chance of having all spells and traps in my hand. I'm like, ooh, I got a Lure of Darkness. It's kind of just sitting in my hand. But it's kind of rare, but I still don't like having to pick a dark monster in my hand to banish. That's another thing too about Dark Dust Spirit. He's kind of weird because he's an Earth, so it doesn't help much as far as attributes go. Next card I'm going to do is Mind Control, because it's a good card. This was in my side deck for a long time, but I decided to put it into the main deck this format because, well, not just this format, just I really like Mind Control. I really didn't care for it up until this past format and started using it. I started deciding to put it in the deck a lot. So I'm like, let's just main them. Let's just main that card. And here we are. Next is Soul Charge. I only own 2 copies of this. One that I pulled and one that I actually bought. And I'm like, I'm not buying another one because this card's going to get limited to 1. I just know it, I just know it, I just know it, and guess what? It's limited to 1. And I knew it was going to go limited to 1. I'm so glad I didn't cave in and buy more. Because I knew what the future was going to hold. I didn't know, but I assumed that it would go to 1. I don't think it's enough to get banned. Well, I guess it's debatable. But still, it's fair at 1. I mean, it's stronger than it's stronger than Monster Reborn. And guess what? Monster Reborn is banned. So I guess that contradicts everything I just said earlier. So ignore me. Trap cards. We're going to have triple Fiendish Chain. I thought about running 2, but I just can't live without, in this deck at least, having 3, because it's got a lot of like negation. This is, you know, the monster negation, and the next cards is the trap negation. I have 2 Wiretap. Wiretap's an awesome card. It's a better 7 Tools of the Bandit, even though I love 7 Tools of the Bandit, and I've got a whole page dedicated to 7 Tools of the Bandit in my trade binder. Wiretap had to be the better choice over it, for me. Next card, 1 Black Horn of Heaven. I'll actually explain why I only run 1 instead of 2. Most people, I think, run 2 of these. I only run 1 in the main deck, and that's because of Mirror Force. And there's a lot of people who don't even run Mirror Force. I really want to figure out a way to run 2 in this build, but I have 41 cards. And I'm talking very strangely today, aren't I? Ho, ho, ho. Anyway, I love Mirror Force. I've always loved Mirror Force. I don't think I'd ever run 3, because there's a lot of trap cards anymore that you can have. So I would like to figure out 2. If you guys have a suggestion for me to run 2, that would be great. But I think a lot of you be like, get rid of Mirror Force, put in a second Black Horn of Heaven. But that's okay. You know, I always welcome any suggestions, and maybe if enough people suggest it, maybe I should just do it, right? The rest are just staples, pretty much. Pulsar Evacuation Device, I've always used it. Torrential Tribute, Trap Hold, and Solemn Warning. Well, I have considered taking out Solemn Warning and putting in another Black Horn of Heaven, because that's free and this is not, but this covers more things than Black Horn of Heaven, so, you know, another dilemma. That's it for the main deck. Let's get these together, put that off to the side, and let's do the extra deck next. Now, I'm going to warn you that I don't have a lot of really expensive extra deck cards. There's a lot of level 4s that are really good, but I can't afford them. I can't get them. I really, really, really would love to get Honor Arc, number 101 Silent Honor Arc. That's the main one, but you know, with the tins, those mega tins, man. I wanted to pull one, but no luck there. So, yeah, I just looked at my side. Let's get on with the extra deck. I'll show you what I have. But again, be warned, no really expensive, really super good cards. I do have something. Let's go with Ghostrick Dullahan. That's just a temporary card for now because it's really good. I don't really exceed for 1, even though there's 5 exceed 1 level 1s in the deck. So I can make level 1 exceeds most well, but those, you know, those level 1s go to the graveyard for that. So I just keep 1 just in case, and to fill up some space. So next up, double Alucard. I would like to go down. I'll probably go down to 1 eventually, just because it's, again, more filler. And once I get a card to swap out the second Ghostrick Alucard, it's going to go right into my 6 Samurai deck. Even though I could do that now, but I'm kind of lazy and I like having them separate, because I'm weird. Another level 3 I have is Levier the Sea Dragon. This could be really helpful, actually, because, whoops, there can be a lot of banishing with this deck, and, you know, it's good to have, just in case. The rest are actually level, or rank 4s. We'll go with King of the Feral Imps, one of those. There's a good combo with it. You know, if you get Nikitama, summon out Aratama, special summon Kage Tokage. XCs for this guy with Nikitama and Aratama. Or no, Nikitama and Kage Tokage, sorry. And you detach to use his effect to get, you detach to get Kage Tokage from your deck, but you use Nikitama to detach to use his effect. So you can draw a card, and then you'll have Aratama, and also with Aratama you would have obviously added Nikitama to your hand already, and at the end of the turn you get Aratama back to your hand, and guess what? You can use the move all over again, but I only run one, so I'd get another Exceed. Number 39, Utopia, is next. Obviously filler. I was lucky enough to get a Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer. I'm happy to at least have that guy. He's actually really good. He's my Silent Honor Arc for now. He's kind of a mixture of Maestroke with Symphony Vision and Honor Arc in one effect, which is kind of funny. It's like a fusion almost, but again, my next card is Maestroke because it's an awesome card. Next card, we got number 50, Black Ship of Corn. He is not a filler because he's a really good card, and I've heard people like, why do you run him? I don't see why you run him. Because sometimes you really don't want to attack your opponent, but you want to kill their card. So, and sometimes they're weaker than your monster, so it's like a free 1,000. And also it really helps sometimes if you're going to, if you have Aratama on the field, or you want to detach from Nikitama and, get that free draw. It's also good. Steel Swarm Roach. Good against Light Swarms, I think, even though he can die fast because they target him like first. So be wary of that. Photon Peppy Operative. Good card, filler. Gaga Cowboy. Good card. Diamond Dire Wolf. Good card again. Number 103, Ragen Zero. Actually, I've wound up using her a lot. I'm surprised. I didn't think I would use her so much, but now she's going to stay because I actually use her a lot. Next one is number 82, Heartland Draco. So, that's my extra deck for now until, I get some of those really expensive, really good ones. But at the moment, I don't have them. So, I'll show you my side deck. This is the first time me actually doing a side deck. So, it's interesting, but I don't know. I try to make my, I think I said extra deck, but I meant side deck. My side deck, I try to make my side deck to be, that it's kind of general, a lot of general cards, so it can go up against a lot of different decks. There's like nothing in it to specifically target specific decks per se, but and a lot of it is just some extra cards I would like to have in my main deck, and it's not. So it's not going to be very special. So if you've already left the video, that's fine. 2 Max C because it's Max C. 2 DD Crow because it's DD Crow. 3rd Ghostrick Mary. 2 Forbidden Lance because I think Forbidden Lance is an amazing card. But there's no way I can have it in my main deck at the moment, so that's there. 1 Mystical Space Typhoon for my 3rd one, and 1 Dimensional Fisher, just in case. Double Dimensional Prison. That 2nd Mirror Force, man, and guess what? That 2nd Blackborn of Heaven, they're there, just in the side. A Trap Stun, just in case I want a 3rd Wiretap, but I don't want a 3rd Wiretap. So Trapstone gets the job done. And then last but not least is Necrocosmos, because it's Necrocosmos. Alright guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I know my windows are getting really long-winded, but I'm really glad you watched. I hope this maybe helped you in your Ghostrick Spirit deck, or, I hope so. If you have any suggestions for me, I'm happy to hear them. If you watched my previous videos as well, I had a pure Ghostrick deck, though I have considered going back to the pure Ghostrick deck, because to me that one's more fun, but this one gets more wins, so, but it's very barely, so, but I do really like this deck too. But again, suggestions are welcome, and, subscribe if you like my videos. If not, that's okay too. I hope you all have a great day.